How are you?
We're doing great. Hope you guys are doing well as well.
Indeed so.
Yes, Bubba, we're here. We're trying our best, Bubba.
Yes, this is a union shop. Build a bridge and get over it.
And he says, hello, watch people. Thank you, Bubba, for being here. He's had a good day today. I think we've all had a pretty good day today. We're going to try to have a nice evening talking about retro reissues. A reminder that, yes, we do, DP, want everybody to upvote. Everybody watching upvote, all 11 of you. But we'll build that up as we go. We also have a race this evening. To get in the race, you know the drill. Super chat, member chat, join the channel. That also gets you into the WhatsApp group. Or you can do gift memberships. All of that will get you in the race, and we'll pick a couple at the end just because we're nice. Speaking of nice, we got a great panel tonight. Jen G, Mitch, and Blake are all joining us. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So we will tell you guys what's on the wrist. I'll go first tonight because let's get first of all, I got to do that. And then I got to do that. No, that. And now I can do this, which was my Father's Day present from my daughter. And it's a nice little Citizen Echo Drive. Very well finished, too. I'm impressed with the finishing for an affordable watch, but it does just about everything. Has an alarm, has a built-in chronograph. We'll do a second time zone, and it's a perpetual calendar.
It's got the radio feature on it, too, doesn't it?
No, I thought it did, but this one does not. But it's got everything else, but it does not have the radio feature on it. But that's fine, you know.
Very cool. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
It is a nice piece.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it when I opened the box and first saw it, and then I got home and you know, got the fit right, and it's beautiful, beautiful watch. So thank you, Miss Amanda. I appreciate that very much. It's awesome. Miss Jen G, what's going on? What's on the wrist?
Okay, so today, in lieu of our, here we go. In lieu of our vintage stuff, I'm wearing a Universal Genève gifted to me by Blake, and the other parts I found on eBay.
Yeah, she redid it herself. Mm-hmm. And now she's in the middle of redoing watches for me.
Yep.
How's that going, by the way?
Good. Good. They're still right there, I promise.
Yeah, they're still in pieces right there on the desk. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man, Mr. Blake Ray, what is up this evening, sir?
The Hamilton khaki.
Little Hamilton, very nice.
Khaki field.
Super good.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a Hamilton for my next one too. Not that particular one, but I'm looking at one.
This is a fun watch because it's super thin. And it's a manual winding, and it's got pretty solid lume. I mean, everything you'd ever want. And I can wear it on a NATO because it's so thin. So,
it comes in both automatic and manual, right?
I believe it does. Yeah.
Okay. And quartz too.
Yeah.
If you want it.
Yeah. The 38 hand wound.
Yeah, to me, that's the one to get. That's the one that's more true to the history of that watch.
Yeah, I like it. I don't even have to even wrap the little piece through either.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah.
Speaking of retro reissues, that's a retro reissue.
Yep.
And we'll have some more examples of retro reissues. And
Mitch is a retro reissue.
That's right.
Yes, I modeled after the 1902 Mitch.
Okay.
And speaking of watches and retro reissues, Mr. Blake Ray, how many unboxings do you have this evening?
Just two.
Just two. Oh my.
Yeah.
But They're very cool. And am I correct? One of them is a retro reissue and one of them is a true retro. Are they retro?
I think they're both retro designs, and one is definitely a reissue, but they're both retro-ish in their design language.
So if you want to see some unboxings later, get those upvotes going. We've got 27 of you in the room right now. So let's try to get, as we go through the evening, about 30 upvotes, and we will start doing some unboxings a little bit later. We've got Mr. Mitch. What's on the wrist this evening, sir?
Well, not to be left out of the reissue Hamilton Brigade.
Hey.
Oh, that's a nice watch.
Hamilton Khaki Pioneer Pilot, reissue of a watch Hamilton made for the RAF in 1970. Manual wind, column wheel, chronograph.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, that looks really good.
It is. It's one of my favorite watches in general, and it's not even close to being one of the more expensive ones. So
right,
yeah. Well, that's the beauty of a brand like Hamilton, is you can get really cool watches with history, and you're not emptying out your bank account to get them.
Yep,
it's true.
I think they're one of the few brands that are still, that you can still get that kind of a bargain. I think, brands like Longines, who you used to be able to do that, they keep creeping those prices up. I mean, Hamilton does too, but Hamilton's starting at a lower price point and then starting to creep up, where Longines is starting to, seems like every new release from them is, $4,000 and up.
Yeah.
And that's, that's a little steep.
I've got a lot of vintage reissues, and so I have pulled out a small selection across the price spectrum of the vintage reissues that we can talk about later on.
Yeah, absolutely. I pulled in a couple from the lower price range. So I've got those here as well.
Yeah.
Let's see who is in the chat. Of course, we've already talked to Bubba and DP. We've got Caliber YQG. Hey, good to see you. And Julius Caesar is in the building. Another Hey Watch people. I don't do that as well as some other people, but we are glad that you are in here, sir. Pretty much very glad. If you're here and you haven't made a comment yet, make a comment and let us know that you're here. We've got 32 watching now, so please smash that like button. We've got unboxings coming later, and we've also got a race coming up at the end of the show, so please feel free to do what you need to do to get in the race. Let's talk about some vintage reissues before we start looking at them. It seems like that, I don't know if it's a majority of watches, but gosh, it almost seems like a majority of watches these days from at least the major brands seem to be retro reissues, all the way from the Tissot PRX on up. And it doesn't seem like this is a trend that's going away, is it?
I don't think so.
So
anytime soon.
Yeah. What do you, Blake? I mean, you're real connected within the industry, and you see a lot of these new watches sometimes before anybody else. What's kind of your vibe on the whole retro reissue deal, and where these watch companies are going? Is it just, it's easy to look in the back catalog and pick something out instead of designing something from scratch?
I think that's it, right? I mean, they're essentially just going to their back catalog, just saying, hey, this was super successful, or maybe this was overlooked. And in the case of some of the watches that I have, they just essentially found one of the watches in their archive, and they like 3D scanned it into the computer, and then they just essentially copy pasted. And so, yeah, I think it's much more cost efficient to re-release something, of course.
Yeah.
Slap a different movement in there, maybe make it a little bit more modern. I personally like the kind of fad, because I've noticed that I'm kind of going backwards and what I appreciate for watches in terms of design language. But yeah, I think a lot of brands are really doing that just because it's just so easy to put out a new watch, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's basically what Blake said, but I think the watch manufacturers are under a lot of pressure because they tend to be selling smaller amounts of watches to increase their margins. And one way of doing that is to produce watches at a lower cost to them. And
Yeah.
then on top, put icing on the cake, people seem to like it.
Yeah.
Also, they can throw a modern price tag on it too. So
Yeah.
like if they just copy paste some shit,
That's right.
Yes.
Takes no effort at all to design it. No design team involved, and then sell it for whatever $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, it's
yes.
easy profit. Maybe
Tag Heuer Formula One comes to mind. $1,900.
Not only that
People
too,
are
but
nuts.
they reissued the Monza, right? And then the Skipper. And I mean, there's just been so many of them that are just next thing you know, they'll probably do the Pasadena. Like
the thing is, though, with a lot of those watches, like the Skipper and like the Glassbox Carrera, which was a reissue, and like the Octavia, which they re-released several years ago, those things, I think those, for what they are, were priced pretty fair. I think releasing a watch with more plastic than metal that was about $140 when they first came out in the 80s, and now it's $1,900 because you stuck a movement in it and made it 3 millimeters bigger. That's crazy talk. Bubba Hotep, $5. Has anyone else tried Blake's Crusty Zenith and gotten ringworm and are recurring nightmares? Please contact me to be added to the class action lawsuit.
It's pretty hard to get class actions through in Las Vegas. Come on, Bubba.
That's right.
It's a safe
He said he's
haven.
going to sue you in Vegas. He's going to sue you in where he's from.
It's a safe haven out here.
Bubba, thank you so much for your support. And I'm sure Blake thanks you for your support as well. We got Nerd with Swag joining us. Hi, Jen, Mitch, Robert, and Blake. Nerd with Swag, we are so happy that you are here. And says, like the Moon Watch and Swatch 50 Fathoms. Yeah, I mean, the Moon Swatch was, I don't know if it was a re-release or a new release that was a copy of something already in the but still, I mean, you are talking about a new release of a previous vintage style watch, although that watch remains in the catalog for Omega and will probably till the end of time. But yeah, I can agree with that. And the Swatch 50 Fathoms. I mean, I know that they were trying to make people more aware of the Blancpain brand because it's not necessarily something that non-watch people know about or think about. And then they see what the actual Blancpains cost and they have a heart attack and die. So,
especially after the one that they released today.
Oh, good God. How much was that thing?
$19,000 for the base model.
Yeah, I know. We appreciate it, Blancpain. Thank you for playing. If I was going to spend that kind of money, I would get a Rolex Submariner of some kind.
Yeah, the difference, though, is that no one, unless they are completely clueless about the watch market, is going to pay $19,000 for a watch.
No.
I just don't, like, to me, that's a know your lane situation. Like, Hamilton is great because they know their lane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they stick to it and they sell a crap ton of watches because of that. And it's like, guys, you can still make good money. Like, you don't have to make exorbitantly priced watches. You can put them in the right pocket. Like, do some, focus testing and say, hey, what would you pay for this? Like, give us your
probably
initial instinct. If they're saying 19,000, I'm saying you're nuts.
It's not for us though. Like, it might be for a different market. It might be for like Asia or like the Middle East.
It's not though. Who's to say it can't be? Like, if you price it correctly, it's for everybody.
Yeah, very true. And it is not priced correctly. Hey, It's Brian, the pipe. Hey man, how are you?
There's a pipe.
There's a pipe.
Nice one.
Oh, Piguet.
So, real quick, what's on the wrist this evening, sir? Oh my God! Does that mean you have an unboxing?
No, that means I
Oh.
He's like, no.
I was
Here, wait,
getting
look.
all excited there for a minute. Oh,
Nice.
yes, put on the Patek, absolutely.
Yeah, I just
Boy,
had it.
that's a good looking watch.
He's got a flex on us.
God,
Oh,
that's
what should I put on? My Nautilus,
I
my
don't have-
Aquanaut, or my Comp? You know,
Look, I
there
don't
you go.
have much in the muscle way, so I got to do it with this. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
right. Birminghard, I am all for reissue designs. I find them more appealing. In some cases, I do too. Plus, the marketing team has a ready-made story that connects with the consumer. Now, that is a good point.
Yes.
As far as, you already got something with history, something you can look back on. Maybe that watch, say, like the Hamilton that Blake is wearing, is associated with, say, soldiers in World War II. That's how it was designed, so on and so forth. So you do have that built-in story. That's a fantastic point.
I think also to add to that, and it brings up, I mean, it's a great point, of course, but it made me think about how they spend more time trying to modernize necessarily the watch, or maybe fix issues that came out in the first release, whether it's the movement, the case, the finishing, whatever, right? They spend more time or less time designing the watch. They spend more time kind of fixing and bringing it to this century,
Yeah.
This era, should I say, not century, but
yeah, with the modern movement and the
modern movement, modern
Modern
decoration.
materials,
and some of these watch.
And you get away from the problem you have buying the originals because they're not old.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of problems that you get from buying old watches.
And
Never.
that too, but if they're reissuing it, it just really just goes to show how great the design language was of that time, because it still looks good, it still stands up, and people, I mean, I think the Skipper is a great looking watch. I mean, that's a reference we can choose, or even the Hamilton that I'm wearing, like they'll never age out.
I mean, Rosé bought a Skipper, so that should say something to you. He does not just buy any watch, and he usually craps on everything, and he bought a Skipper and he loves it. He was raving about it.
Yeah, well, Mitch has a Skipper too.
Yeah. Fantastic watch.
So, and I think Mitch has answered this question, but Mobster, thank you, Mobster, for being with us tonight, talking about how the Type 20 wears, and Mitch answered that in the chat. So Mobster, we're glad to have you in this evening. So as far as retro reissues, I know that I brought over 2, and they're both inexpensive. So you don't have to spend a ton of money if you want a retro reissue to get one. For example, you've got this, which is a gold Casio. It's the same one I wore in high school, the same model, but this is the new modern version of it. And then of course you've got one that's, a little bit more talked about, and that is the Bulova Lunar Pilot, which of course is a reissue of the original, which was a mechanical. This is no longer mechanical. It's a quartz movement, but it has the advanced quartz movement designed and developed by Bulova. And so I think that's another pretty cool retro reissue, although it is kind of like wearing a dinner plate on your wrist, but luckily I have big fat wrists, so it's not a problem for me.
We like big wrists, and cannot lie.
And cannot lie. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. We want to welcome in Marcelo. We're glad that you're here. Hope you're having a wonderful evening.
Morning.
Just, this guy. There you go. So thank you again, Marcelo, for joining us this evening. So I know, Mitch, you have some issues.
In the spirit, starting at the inexpensive end, the old Timex Marlin.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a definite reissue of a 60s or 70s model with the Art Deco kind of numerals. And you can't really see it because my camera sucks and the lighting is bad, but this particular one has a nice copper salmon dial. But again, this watch was like less than $200.
Yeah. And
And
Timex
Timex
is
has been
done.
doing a really good job of filling the role that Seiko used to fill in terms of interesting, well put together, inexpensive watches.
And I mean, Timex has done a ton of retro reissues
Yes.
in the past, say 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
The whole Q Timex line, they're all retro reissues. They've just done a ton of them, and they're all really well done.
Yeah.
And I mean,
they're not fancy movements. The ones that are automatic are not fancy movements. There's like no movement finishing, but they work.
Yeah, I mean, most of them I think are Miyota 8000 series.
Probably,
if I'm remembering right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Jen has a Marlin Chrono, which is another retro reissue. Well, we'll switch positions real quick,
Let
but
me clear that.
basically the same watch Mitch has, except with the chrono movement in it.
Yeah, and you can see the Art Deco on there.
Timex is doing such a good job these days.
Yeah,
fantastic watch.
I guess, Mitch, do you have the automatic or manual wind Marlin?
It's the automatic.
Yeah, so that's the only difference really is she's got the quartz chrono movement and you have the automatic.
VK63.
Yeah, it's a mecha quartz, so it's a nice running watch and it wears really well.
Yeah.
So what else do you have there? Maybe moving up from that affordable maybe to the next level.
Yeah, well, for the next level, this one is another Hamilton. It is a World War II era pocket watch that was converted into a wristwatch. That wrist thing, it always confuses me.
Very cool.
And this is in bronze, so it's another relatively inexpensive watch. It has the Unitas 6498, so it's got a very dependable automatic movement. And again, it's vintage design basically.
Yeah.
Except for the pocket watch to the wristwatch.
I love those cathedral style hands. It just does something for me. So good.
Gee, Blake, what does it do for you? Yeah, PCAR is $5. Thank you, sir. Hey guys, I have the redesigned Hoyer Heritage Chrono, from 2017 on a brown strap. Those are beautiful watches and a fantastic retro reissue from I know it's Tag Heuer, but I believe that one and several of the other retro reissues they've done that were Heuers actually still say Heuer, just Heuer on the dial without the tag part. So I'm just getting him on the list for the race this evening. Thank you so much, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So
Waterbury's great.
Yeah, the Waterburys are great.
The Q is great too.
Yeah, and I just, and we've seen it on this channel. I believe I've worn it on the show. The Waterbury Chrono, the new one. And it's a cool watch. My only complaint about it is it has a dead dial, which when you're not running the chrono, it has a dead dial. That's my only complaint against that watch. But it looks beautiful, and the bracelet is out of this world. No tool adjustment. It's fantastic. Absolutely.
I didn't pull it out, but I've got this Pan Am special edition Waterbury Chrono with the odd retrograde displays.
Yeah.
I've shown it before, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to get it, but it's a cool looking watch, but it's just not anything that interests me in getting at this point. So what else do you have hanging out there with you?
All right, going up a bit here, we've got the Nevada Grenchen Depth Master. This was one of their original dive watch designs from the 50s, I think. And
that's good looking.
Yeah, it's 38 millimeters, so it's not. It's one of the smaller watches I have, but the lug to lug is large enough that it doesn't look stupid when I wear it, and it's nice.
Now it's kind of got those long Nomos like lugs on it.
Yeah. So
That's a good looking watch, and it Nevada Grenchen. I think pretty much everything they've done has been a retro reissue of some kind or another. But it's not a brand that I've ever had the chance to try on and take a look at in person, because I don't think anybody in stores carries them that I've seen anyway. Certainly not down here, but I would love to try one of these days. I'd love to try the F77. I think it's a cool watch.
Yeah.
So what's next on the hit parade, sir?
All right, so we're going up to Longines world. We have here the Pilot Magitech, which is, let me turn this off because the reflection on this crystal is.
That's a cool watch.
It's the 1935 reissue of a watch that Longines did for the Czech Air Force, of all folks, in 1935. This is
coin bezel?
What?
Does it have a coin bezel on it?
Yep.
Very
And it rotates. There is which you really can't see, a indicator inside the crystal that moves when you rotate the bezel.
Okay.
Oh, is that the and I can't see it. You're right, I can't see it, but it's the little red. It's the little red marker thing, right?
It's not red marker. It is a beige marker down at 6. For some reason, I find it less distracting down at 6 o'clock.
It's 6. Yeah.
It's like the
Oh yeah, I
triangular,
see it now. I see it now. Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah. So but Robert is right. I mean, Longines is definitely slowly but steadily raising its prices as they get more popular, and it remains to be seen when they hit the wall, so to speak, and realize that people are not going to pay $10,000 for that watch,
or at least not for a Longines.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 more watches. Another Longines, if I can find it here. The old Legend Diver.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the Legend Diver. What do you think of the new white dial Legend Diver? I really like it.
Yeah, I'm not that big a fan of that. They're for me, a white dial watch has to prove itself.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical of white dial watches. I mean, the only one I've had recently really is the Omega White Speedy.
Mm-hmm.
But
which I'm assuming you still have?
No, I had to sacrifice it to the gods of consolidation.
That didn't take long.
Yeah.
We just said it at the same time, Blake. Yeah, I love the Legend Diver. Is that the 39 or 42? That's the 39.
42.
Oh, it's a 42. I see the date now.
With the lug to lug of 3.5 miles.
Yeah.
It goes around the earth 3 times. So
yeah.
For me, it's fine since I have 7.5-inch wrists, and I myself am like 6'3" in a sphere. So
yeah, no, it's just I got confused because initially I didn't see the date on the dial, because the 39 is the one with the no date, and the 42, 43 is the one with the date.
And last but not least, I pulled out a expensive one, which I think I just unboxed a week or 2 ago. The Blancpain 50,000 bathyscaphe.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, super good.
They make great pieces. Like I'm not knocking the workmanship or anything. They just, the price range they have them in is just obscene.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you get them secondary, you can do a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was, less than half of what they're going for retail. That's in mint condition.
Nerd with Swag's asking if that is a compressor watch.
The Longines is, it's not a real compressor. It is a pseudo compressor. A real compressor has the case back spring loaded so that when it's under pressure, it supposedly makes a tighter seal.
Right. But the Longines is kind of a compressor-ish. It's got the looks of a compressor, but it's not a true compressor case. Would that be correct?
Yes, it's got the inner rotating bezel.
Right.
But it's not a real compressor.
But it plays one on TV.
That's right.
I think
Julius Caesar.
Farrer makes a real compressor.
I think you're right. And Zen makes one too, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so does Christopher Ward.
Yep.
Who?
Christian Ward.
Christian Ward on a NATO strap, maybe. And to be honest, as Julius Caesar says, I think Longines is fairly value based on quality, design, finishing, and reliability based on my experience. I would agree. It's just the point I was making is that they're, another one of the, I would say Swatch Group brands, which they are, but I think all brands now are continuing to, every time they come out with something new, it's more expensive, and then they do 5 and 10% price increases per year, and all of that stuff just kind of adds up. So, but he had said, that they're focusing on the 2 to 6K range, and that's about where they should be. I would actually hope they would do more like 1,500 to 4,000, but 2 to 6 is, I can see that.
Especially now, as prices go up.
Especially now. But it's like, they came out with the new model of the Spirit Zulu time, and that was over $4,000. The original started at, I want to say when it first came out, was about 35. So it's quite a bit more expensive.
They're really just trying to see how much we like watches at this point.
But they're not alone. It's like I said, it's almost
every brand. Every brand. I think every brand's testing us, testing our patience, testing our purse.
And honestly, out of all of the ones, I think Seiko's the worst now. They used to be known for affordable watches, and they still make a nice affordable range, but it seems like not every, but a lot of the new like divers they come out with are all over $1,000.
Yeah.
To 1,200 to 1,500. They've got some divers that are Grand Seiko territory as far as prices.
King Seiko and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Yeah. It's all expensive, but we have an expensive hobby, but it doesn't have to be unless you're Brian the Pipe and you're wearing a Nautilus.
That's my desk diver. I'm sorry.
Just Peter.
Wait. I can put on a reissued watch.
No, okay, cool.
Oh my God.
Here comes.
I know where it's coming.
I have my own theory about what the watch market is going to look like in 2030, and it isn't pretty. If you're a collector.
You mean people are going to be tired of spending all that money?
Yeah.
No, I think the whole boutiqueization of the higher end watches, combined with the constant price increases, coupled with the fact that sales are continually going down, indicates to me that the goal is to increase the margin on the higher end watches in particular to such an extent that these companies like Rolex and Patek and AP, etc., can be extremely profitable while selling less and less watches
Yep.
What that means is that, 25 years ago when I first started getting hooked on this addiction, it was possible to afford, perhaps with some savings effort, almost every brand, including Patek. It wasn't out of reach for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting discounts on Longas, on VCs, on APs. I think ultimately what's going to happen is that people who are not Mark Zuckerberg level or close in terms of finances are going to have to be satisfied with Hamilton, Oris, Longines, Seiko, at that kind of level, because everything else is going to be priced way out of reach.
No.
I think what Mitch is saying is actually something that I've predicted a while back, in that a lot of these companies have run out of fresh ideas.
Yeah.
The creativity is beaten out of them because they're in a corporate structure. The pricing has gone sky high, and in 2, 3, 4 years, there's going to be several big brands that are going to be standing there going, where have our customers gone?
Yep. Well, they've gone to watches they could afford and not yours.
Yeah, or crusty Zeniths.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh my.
Well, and
Everybody hates Zenith now for some reason, huh?
Oh, no.
No.
I hated Zenith before.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of vintage, I mean, I think that's part of the reason why people have gone back to vintage, the value that's there. Still, you can still find some stuff that is a steal, and you're getting precious metal, you're getting what you look for, and it's attainable. It's, and it's, you don't have to go through an 80 or anything. Nobody's going to give you a hard time about it. It makes sense. Piaget has made some amazing watches over the years. And their stone dials are, coming back in. I don't think they ever really went out, but they're getting more notice now, as they should. They came out with another reissue, the Andy Warhol. The white gold blue meteorite Andy Warhol is a grail for me. It's insane. It's a beautiful watch.
Yep.
Cartier, same thing. A lot of people are digging into the vintage because it's attainable. And you can still get what you're looking for.
Yep. Peter G, speaking of Seiko, he says they make a terrible clasp. You are correct, sir. Yes. Nothing more to say. I accidentally bought a reissue watch. Yeah. So what did you accidentally bid on something again or something while you were driving? No, I know what you're talking about. Oh man. Yeah. Hop on, Nate, if you feel like it, if you can. So we welcome in Respectably Late, watching, listening between schools. Well, that's cool. We're glad that you are here with us this evening. And we've got your friend Mikey is in the chat. Welcome, sir. We're glad that you're here as well.
I mean, can't we effectively say that all of Nate's Cartier Santoses are really reissues of the original?
True.
And my Speedmaster is a reissue of the original, and it's just a redesign. Yeah. Although it's got Snoopy on it, so it's cute.
We've got Tariq in the chat. Blake, didn't you mention Zenith updating their clasp? Did you mention that?
Yeah. I talked to like their chief product officer about this, because I mean it's the biggest gripe, and yeah, he said that they've been having a hard time because Rolex has patented so much shit about their clasps that everything they do has some type of patent already. So so yeah, just trying to develop around these patents, right? And of course, when you see some of the more affordable micro brands that have those micro adjustment clasps, they work, but they just don't have that premium feel,
right?
And premium comfort, right? So I mean, well, the comfort's there, but you know what I mean. They don't have that premium like build. So that's another challenge. But yes, he was saying that they're working on it and that they've been listening, and when they come out with it, they're gonna essentially release it for everything, so people can retrofit all of their old clasps out.
Wow,
Which would be nice.
That's good to know. I do a little housekeeping here. We're still short of our upvotes, so if you could get 30 upvotes, we're going to see a couple of unboxings from our man Blake. And
36 people in here. Come on, kids.
Yeah, you never know what's going to fall out of that box. Oh wait, that's Nate. So come on, get some upvotes going. Let's see the new stuff.
I have to be careful when I'm unboxing it because I obviously I had to put it back in the box to show you guys, but so I didn't fold it over the clasp over all the way. So
you
need to be very careful.
No, don't tilt the box up because then it's going to go punk.
Yep, I think
we do not want that. So yeah, please upvote, and we'll have some unboxings coming up because and there's some cool pieces too. You're going to like them. Take my word for it.
If we do not get those upvotes, I will begin singing the greatest hits of Jim Neighbors.
Oh God.
We have 29 already.
Please God, somebody, one person
30.
upvote, please.
30.
We got 30.
We got 30.
Very cool. Very cool.
Wow,
well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for saving us from Jim Neighbors' greatest hit. Because I can't imagine there's more than one.
I really don't know what he was famous for.
He just threw it out there. He doesn't know any words.
He's famous for singing Back Home in Indiana for like 35 years at the Indy 500. That's all I know that he's famous for as far as singing goes. So there you go. Time to learn Back Home in Indiana. So the next time you can follow through on that thread. So let me put Blake in the position to assume the position. And we'll talk about a couple of new unboxings.
So this is my first one that I bought. And I went to obviously, I think you guys know kind of some of the story, but I went to the Antique Watch Show. Parallel to the Antique Watch Show is what they call Couture, which essentially is mostly jewelry brands, but a couple brands were there. One of my more favorite minimalist brands was there. Young Hans.
Ah, very cool.
And so I took my buddy Phil to their showcase, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't really care to see anything. But this watch popped out.
Oh, heck yeah.
At the Max Bill.
It's the Max Bill Mega Solar.
Okay.
Whoa.
So it's a radio controlled solar watch. And something that stuck out is this entire watch with this bracelet is 30 grams.
Wow, that's incredible.
I know. It's like lighter than like an RM or something. And it titanium woven bracelet. If you travel, it picks up the radio waves. It sets itself. I literally haven't even said it. Once I landed, I opened it. I just saw it spinning because it picked up on the radio waves. And I just love how it's like a smoky type of, dial. Yeah. It's just very kind of muted. And yeah, this is, and I didn't even know this, but I did a video with Young Hans, and they were one of the first solar powered movement makers. And they were pretty pivotal in the radio control technology. So this felt like a must buy. And then for whatever reason, they don't sell it with this bracelet. So it comes with on this leather strap. Okay. And so I ended up getting the bracelet. They were kind enough to send me the bracelet too. So
all right.
Yeah.
So I got two questions for you. One, how much does that MSRP for? Because that's really cool.
It's about $1,300, I think.
Okay, so that's not bad at all for a
yeah
for a radio controlled solar watch.
Yeah, and then I guess my second question is does the radioactivity of it kill the crusty effect of the zeniths on your wrist?
They're saying that it does.
Yeah,
they're saying that it does.
it's antifungal, so
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I mean, once you take it out in the sunlight, you get it charged. It just disinfects your entire wrist,
Damn.
from the UV waves.
Yeah, and it looks good doing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I'm
Next
super
level
happy.
classic.
I'm super happy. I wanted something that was affordable-esque, right? I mean, $1,300 is still a lot of money. But affordable-esque and something that I could wear, without having to worry about anything, thin, sleek. I was looking for because it occurred to me when I went to Watches and Wonders, I don't really have like a good travel watch.
Mhm.
I have a GMT, cool, but I want something that's a little bit less, expensive, more affordable and easier to travel with. And this kind of checked all the boxes because it's radio controlled. So there it is.
We, excuse me, want to thank Mitch for his $2 super chat. I am my own vintage reissue. Yes, sir. I'm not a reissue. I'm just vintage.
That's right.
So, Mitch, thank you. Of course, Mitch is in the race. If you want to be in the race, you know how to get in it. So please take those steps because we want to have a nice race at the end of the show. Got a few entries so far, but we can always use more. Blake, you have a second unboxing.
This is the other wrist disease.
I
I need to fix my damn background.
There you go.
So, I'm working on a video with Zenith right now, and I think I showed you guys the vintage ones that I picked up.
Yeah, last week.
Yep. So I had reached out to them and I said, hey, like I want to get one of these in, and they didn't reply. So I took matters into my own hands.
And you picked this up at the watch show as well, right?
No, I actually I found it in the trader groups.
Oh,
Okay.
the fee.
Yep.
The red dial.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, when we were talking about a show idea, I was like, this seems an appropriate watch to wrap an idea around. But no, I love this. I love this. A 37. It's got the super good little well decorated movement. It runs well. It has all the modern features. The bracelet has the little Tudor apparatus there where it's like the little spring loaded ball, so it doesn't put friction when closing. And yeah, I love this. I
actually think that's a cool looking watch. Say what you will.
You're not a white
about Zenith. I like it though.
White rubber, and it's a summer watch.
Yeah, I need a strap for it, like a rubber strap. But yeah, and especially considering this at retail is like a terrible value. And this one, like I said, I saw it in the traders groups and it was 43% off. So when I sold my other watch, I still had some of the funds that I was going to roll into something, and this just felt like the right watch. So
yeah, it's a cool looking watch. It really is.
And my wife, when she saw it online, she's like, "That's ugly." And then whenever it came in, she's like, "Holy shit, that's beautiful." So
we've got Bubba weighing in. Why does that watch give me Mousy Tung vibes? Oh boy.
Bubba is, once you see it, so Bubba, when he sees the watches in real life, yeah, he appreciates them, I think. But
except for the smoky dial one, he's still getting you for that one.
He seemed to like that in real life.
You've been told on, Bubba.
He liked it enough, and I'm gonna have to throw you under the bus, Bubba. But he liked it enough and told me to bring it and told me to wear it. that day.
Wow,
There
the
you
truth
go.
will set you free.
Look at that.
Wow.
Because
he's
you
going
heard it here.
He's going through a Fume thing. So he wanted to see what the Fume was like.
A Fu Manchu thing?
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, Bubba.
A feng shui? Fume?
Nerd with swag. I feel you, Robert. Vintage, and hopefully will not need a new mainspring. You and me both.
Facts.
Although my mainspring's already had 3 surgeries, so we don't need any more of that. We've got Trap joining us. Good evening, you summertime watch people. Thank you for joining us, Trap. And if you guys haven't been to his channel, go watch his Sunday afternoon live stream on replay. Everybody should go see that. And we really hope you will. Trap, I'm so glad you're here and hopefully doing well tonight. So I feel like he told you to wear it just to poke fun. Apparently not. I don't know.
I mean, he put it on.
I'm confident in my watch choices, okay, guys?
I wouldn't have given him the AP back. I'd been like, sorry, dude, you're gonna have to fight me for this one.
It was cool to get a chance. I'm glad he wore it, because I got to see it in this freaking beautiful watch. And so fun fact is we pretty much have the same wrist sizes, except he just has way bigger hands. So like for whatever reason, like his hands won't fit through my bracelets always. But once he gets his hand through, it snaps down and it fits him pretty well. But anyways, that is a beautiful watch, and it is just a hunk of gold.
Yeah.
So heavy. So heavy. But freaking crazy, thin, beautiful. What else? What else do you need from a watch?
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. Really good looking. So we were talking tonight about retro reissues, and we are talking about having a race at the end of the show, and Duco is going to be in that race. Upvote for the panel. Duco, thank you so much for your $5 super chat.
Thanks, Duco.
Hop on if you have time. Love to see you again. Haven't actually seen you on the show in a long time. So we'll get your list here. We'll get you on the list for the race this evening. So now you're official. And so again, a super chat, member chat, gift memberships, or join the channel. And if you join the channel, not only do you get a race entry, but you can join all of us in the WhatsApp group, which is, excuse me, I got the hiccups, which is a lot of fun. 24-hour a day watch talk, plus all of the oddities and other weird stuff that we all kind of have and post pictures of, and you'll love it. So yeah, join the channel and join us as well.
Bubba's menagerie is worth the price of entry.
Oh my God, yes. We've got Old Timey upvoted. Old Timey, thank you so much. We've got a member milestone chat, which means Tariq is in the race as well. Giddy up. Thank you, sir. We do appreciate it. We'll get you on the list as well.
22 months. Dang.
Yeah, he joined a few months after me, but not very much longer after me.
Back when we were young.
Yeah,
back in my day.
Yes, I remember it well.
I actually did walk uphill both ways in the snow.
Yeah.
We had to send our super chats Western Union.
That's right. So we're talking about retro reissues tonight. Let's take a look at a few from. I've got mostly inexpensive ones up and affordable ones, but if anybody else thinks of a vintage reissue that they want to look at, please do. But we talked earlier about Timex and all of the stuff that they're doing. I think this Falcon Eye for a quartz piece, I think this is gorgeous.
How much is this? Two what?
I think it's let me bring it up big. $219
for a Falcon Eye. Wow.
Yeah, and you've also got it in the stainless steel as well. Of course, both are stainless steel, but this one is the gold plated. But yeah, I thought that was cool, and obviously it's crazily affordable. So I like that one. We got $2 from Liberty Spot. Thank you, sir. Giorno della Gara. Did I say that right? I don't know.
Bibbidi bobbidi, first best Italian.
Liberty Spot, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We appreciate you being in here.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
that-
Smoke signals and pigeons.
Yeah, smoke signals. You know, that Timex looks so good. I bet you'd get mugged for it in the wrong places, and then they'd be pissed at you.
Yikes. Well, if they're trying to mug me, I hope they are mad at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be mad at them. Doesn't matter how much my watch costs that they try to steal off me. I'm still going to be mad at them. But yeah, so I thought that was nice looking. Of course, you know, we had the Zenith on earlier, and this was another retro reissue. And as far as Zeniths go, this is my favorite Zenith. I love the subdials. Really like the movement is excellent with the El Primero. I really like that. Duco, mug me, don't tempt me with a good time. That's right, man. But I like that. And then of course, one that
Duco, do you have this? I'm trying to think if he has this. I know OC has it. Some other people have this one too. I couldn't remember. No. Okay.
See, Mikey, I'm not the only one that likes Zenith.
No, I mean, I'm a big Zenith fan.
No, he said you're like the only one. I mean, not. There it is.
Yeah.
Tony Soprano. You want to be Tony Soprano, but your dad is just a CPA. That's the Timex gold watch.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well,
yeah, it's a good looking watch.
I guess I'm the CPA dad. Except I'm not a CPA. Good God, I can't barely add 2 + 2. So yes, your friend Mikey, he's the only fan, and he's going to start an OnlyFans page of him wearing nothing but Zenith watches. And I mean nothing.
Ew.
Doesn't seem like there's a very big market for that, though, unfortunately.
You'd be surprised. People are weird like that.
So, no, go ahead, Blake.
Oh, I was gonna say the Reddit group seems to be riddled with OnlyFans models for Zenith. So,
oh goodness, oops! I was sharing my screen and then I hit the wrong button. That's terrible. We'll have to redo that here real quick. There we go. So this was another vintage reissue, and not necessarily this color scheme is best one I could find on short notice, but the Ratto Captain Cook, which is really not a watch that any of us ever talk about. It's not bad looking. Ratto is a brand, I think, is one that's often either overlooked or forgotten, or people just don't like the style. I don't know which.
The Diastar is also another great reissue from Ratto.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's a brand that used to be a bigger deal than it is now.
Well, I mean, it's still a big deal in countries like India. I mean, Ratto is big in that market, but it's never really been big in the United States. I like the watches, though. I don't think they're bad at all. And you know, I wouldn't overpay for one. I don't think I would get one at brand new MSRP. But they're good looking. I don't mind them. I know Brian has a thing against them because they're another Swatch Group brand. Yep. No Swatch.
Swatch, SWATCH, which stands for Screwing Watch Aficionados Through Cheap Horology. Thank you.
So speaking of which, there's another Swatch Group brand right there for you, buddy.
So.
And I like this retro reissue. I think it's cool.
Shots fired at Hamilton.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. You know what? We all like what we like. And it doesn't matter. If you like something that I don't, or I like something that you don't, I really don't care. Unless Gen G tells me not to buy a Breitling Avenger, and then I won't do it. That goes back to a conversation we had yesterday.
I tried to spend his money. I tried to get him to spend a bunch
Yeah,
of money on a
he
watch,
said,
but he
"No,
didn't want to listen to me.
no, buy the Super Ocean for $3,000 more." Yeah.
Robert, that's because I stopped answering her phone calls.
Oh
Uh-huh.
no.
Wow.
Oh no.
Brian is boycotting me right now. He doesn't want my shopping services anymore.
Oh
I feel hurt.
no. So another brand that's kind of built their brand on retro reissues, and I hit the wrong button again. So
That Tissot reminds me of the Flight Master.
yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Let me get the I swear, one of these days I'm going to actually hit all the right buttons, but today is not the day. There we go. So Zodiac has kind of built their whole brand on, ever since they went back into business, everything is a retro reissue.
Yeah.
Super
And-
Seawolf.
And
Fantastic watch.
it kind of makes me wonder and think what Breitling is going to do with Universal Genève. Are all of their Universal Genèves, the new ones, going to be retro reissues?
Oh yeah.
I bet
It's
you
gonna
they
be
are.
pull router and tricon
Yeah.
backs all the way, man.
I bet you it will be. I mean, that's really all they got. I mean, they got a huge portfolio. That's probably the reason why they bought it. And especially if you see what Breitling's been doing, like with the new 57s and the Super Ocean Heritage that just dropped pretty recently.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about the 57, sorry, but you get it. That's all they've been doing at Breitling, just reissue after reissue, the top time. I mean, just the list goes on, right? So
Yeah, but another brand that's got an extremely deep back catalog to pull from of watches that they know are going to be successful because they were successful in the past.
yeah, I'd say so.
So Respectably Late has a Ratto Captain Cook and loves its dressy diver aesthetic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they're good looking watches. I like it. Your friend Mikey likes the bracelet on that Zodiac. You mean the don't call it Jubilee bracelet?
Yeah.
Five link trademark. Hashtag.
I'm sorry. Yes, hashtag trademark Rolex.
Okay.
So yeah, but I like the Zodiacs too. I think they're good looking.
How much is this?
It's like 1,500 or something, somewhere around there.
Yeah, let me
13 to 15.
Let me get off the big picture and we can let you know. Well, right now they're sold out $16.95. Are you kidding me?
Oh wow.
Way too expensive.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find them on the secondary for cheaper.
Yeah. I mean that you shouldn't be spending more than about $1,200 on that.
Yeah.
Something that I guess concerns me about Zodiac is their movement supplier, STP.
Yeah.
I heard they have like a crazy high like failure rate, like almost like 65 to 70% failure rate in their movements.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know that at all.
I've heard that. I heard it from people in the industry that know these things. So I don't have any data to back that up, but that seems pretty scary. And we had one. We went to a watch show. It was me and Justin. And one of the watchmakers, he owns a watch brand, like took Justin, he was wearing a Zodiac, took it and put it up to his ear. He's like, yep, this one's about to fail soon. I was like,
oh, wow.
So what we really need to do is, Blake, buy 100 of them and see how many fail.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I will support your endeavor emotionally.
You could probably trade that Patek for 100 of them.
That's okay. I can't.
Well, they STP does sell their movements, I think, to outside of their group. So they were looking at, I think, trying to get hands on with them, and they test a ton of movements. They test a ton of Miyota, they test a ton of Seiko, they test a ton of Solita. They were actually telling me that they have better performance and accuracy from Miyota, like Miyota 9s, than even a Solita.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, you can get them within chronometer rating.
Yeah, you can get those things dialed in.
Yeah, they're super easy to get dialed in.
And same thing for Le Jouperet, which is just essentially a Miyota with the damn Swiss label,
Yeah, that's true. They're all Citizen Group owned.
Yep. And so that's what he chose to. And he was talking about Soprod too. And he said that Soprod's had some issues in the past, but they're doing a lot better now, I think. But again, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have 1 or 2 So Proud watches, and no issues here personally, but
So your friend Mikey, is it me or am I the only one that prefers the Breitling wing logo rather than the B? I kind of like both of them, but if I had to choose, probably the wing.
I'm
I'm
a
the
fan of B.
controversial. I like the 5-star Longines Admiral logo.
There you go. Something totally off topic. So thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
Trap Vision, that movement issue was true. My local AD had a number of them returned because of movement failure. Man, you hate that. I would hate to get a new watch and, couple of weeks, couple of months later, the movement just craps out on me. Oh, that would suck.
It seems scary. And so I had a Zodiac for a brief period, and it was a cool watch. It was a great watch, like great loom, well built, felt premium. But I had issues with the crown, like going in and out.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're at with QC, but it's scary, especially when you're paying that price point, and it's owned by Fossil Group, right? So the movement,
Yeah.
STP, Zodiac, all owned by Fossil Group. So
Right.
I just don't have much confidence in that organization personally. So
Excuse me, we've got Pedro Bermudez in the chat. Good evening, sir. Bull of Accutron GMT is a great piece. I'm really happy that they're coming out with a new Space View. It
Yeah.
looks cool, but $5,000, really? Yeesh.
Yeah.
But it's
No.
cool that they're bringing back the tuning fork movement. It gives me hope that there may be new parts now made available for those of us who have the original tuning forks. So that is one hope. I'm hoping that along with bringing back the movement, they're going to bring back the making of parts, not only for that movement, but for all of the ones that are still out there, the old movements. Because I have 2 from the one from the 60s, one from the 70s, and I would love to be able to get parts for that when those movements die. Because they're both very important watches to me, so I don't want to get rid of them. And I never will get rid of the watches, but I'd love to have them run. So talking this evening about retro reissues, a reminder, we will have a race at the end of the show, which about 15 minutes away from the race. So if you want to get into the race, you know how to do it. Super chat, a member chat, a member a member milestone chat, a gift of a membership, and join the channel. And we'll, of course, pick a couple of entries just out of the kindness of our heart at the end of the show, because we have the kindest hearts on YouTube.
Mhm.
Thank you. But yeah, there you go, Brian. Yay. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Another retro reissue that the price is okay for what this is, but it's got an interesting story, and that's the Bull of a Mille ships.
Oh yeah.
Which was actually a watch that was built for the Navy, but then the Navy didn't order it. And so they never actually made it the first time. The prototypes sat in a back room gathering dust, and all of a sudden, one day they're going through stuff, and they find the prototypes, and then they end up making the watch for the general public because they found the prototypes and somebody liked it and said, hey, why don't we go ahead and make that watch? It's cool. So I like the story behind it. And I think it's a great look. I mean, it's definitely Blanc Pond 50 Fathoms vibes.
Yeah.
But it was also made to the same specifications, military specifications, that watches like the Blanc Pond were made to. So, of course, they're going to look a lot alike.
These are great, but
yeah, I do. I love the Mille ship.
I hate the strap. It's like 12 millimeters, like 10 millimeters or some shit.
No, really?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, in reality, I think they're 16, maybe 14, but yeah, they're
I think
a lot
14.
thinner. Yeah, they're a lot thinner than you would think.
Yeah.
Especially because the watch itself is
It's like a 40 or something. 38.
I want to say that's right. Let me see. Do we have specs on here?
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. 40. Well, where's the? Am I missing the? Oh,
41.
case width is 41. There we go.
Wow.
Lug
And it's
width,
only got 14 mil lugs.
No, 16.
That's 16.
Yeah.
That's 16.
They might as well
No.
be 14.
Still.
Yeah, it's
that's
really
small.
thin. You know, that's the other thing that I mean, I love the reissue of the Lunar Pilot, but it has the same problem. It's a 45 mil. If you buy the original, not the new ones that are 43. If you buy the original 45, which is what I have, the lugs on them are 18, which is very thin for a 45 millimeter watch.
I feel like the original probably design was not a 41. And so like, oh, let's modernize this. So we'll size it up. And I don't know how they ended up on a 16 millimeter lug width. I could be wrong, but I mean, if you think about when that watch came out, like that was not the size that they were making.
Yeah, I think that's weird as well. But it's a good looking watch.
Totally.
John D, speaking of good looking watches, grabbed a Hanhart X Revolution collab when it came out. One of the most fun watches I own. And you get to share Steve McQueen's 64 ISDT personal choice as well as movement credibility. Yeah, those are cool. Those are cool watches. Hanhart makes some great stuff.
They do. They're a great brand. Underappreciated. Great value.
Yeah, another one of those underappreciated brands. There's a lot of those out there.
Totally.
Somebody earlier, and I forgot to bring this up when they asked us what we thought about Zen. What does everybody think about Zen watches? And talk about retro reissues. They have some of their own. But I mean, I like the style. I'm not a big fan of the oil-filled ones because I'm not a big fan of oil-filled watches in general. But I mean, if you want a tough as nails tool watch, there aren't too many that are going to do better than Zen.
Yeah, Zen's a great brand. I just wish that they would get more distribution here in the States.
Yeah.
And when I was in Geneva, they were at Time to Watches. I got to see the entire catalog for the first time, which, you know, is very fortunate, I will have to say. And they have some great watches. I think some of their prices, like when they were showing watches, I was like, that's how much is that? You know, like I had to do a double take. So I don't know if it was just me, but they're starting to creep up, I think, in pricing too. You know, like I think they have like a chrono that's kind of like a Navitimer. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like
it is a Navitimer. They bought the rights to it.
Yeah, they bought the rights to the Navitimer, so actually they're the only ones who can make it legally other than Breitling.
I think it's like $4,000 or like $5,000 or some shit. It's pretty. I mean, it's, you know, I get it. It's half the price of a Breitling Navitimer. Salute you, but still, it encroaches on being borderline unaffordable, I think, on some of their watches.
Yeah, of course, it's still half price of the Breitling.
Of course.
So you could use that argument.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Sin is always, and not just Sin, but other German brands like Damasco and, you know, some of the other ones whose names now skip my feeble brain. They make very solid watches, but they're just tend to be overpriced considering the competition and their lack of brand value. You know, Breitling can try to get away with $10,000 for the Navitimer because they're Breitling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Zin is like who? Damasco is like who? You know, so that goes into it.
Somebody in my watch group got one of the U50. I think it was like the mother of pearl, like U50s. It's like around $3,500.
Yeah.
He got it in and he kept it for all of like a month for whatever reason and just moved it on.
Man.
Which I was super surprised. because it's a beautiful watch. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that there's a better value out there if you're starting to, if you want the high end, high horology feel without the high end price tag. It's hard to say that Sin, you have to look away from Sin, because I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, you're going to get a watch that is comparable, I think, in build quality, performance to some of the big boys out there, and they definitely fetch the appropriate price. But yeah, I had to double take in certain instances. So yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Roberts, $10 Canadian. I'll still be listening to this good vibe conversation for a bit while I finish fixing the kids' trampoline. Uh-oh. I'll chuck a tenner for the contest for fun. Cheers. Mr. Roberts, thank you so much. We're sorry you're jumping around trying to fix a trampoline this evening. But yeah, be careful too. You know, if you're gonna test it, you know, be careful. But we welcome you in. We got about 5 minutes until the race. So if you want to get in on the race, you do just like Mr. Roberts did. And you know the other ways too. So we'll have the race here coming up shortly. So he says, I think they build better than Breitling.
I will have to slightly disagree. Slightly disagree. But now, I mean, whenever you're holding a Sin, you're like, oh, this is a couple $1,000 watch. And, you know, when you're holding a Breitling, you're like, oh, this is half of what it should be. But it, you know, but, you know, I'm thinking different things when I get hands on with both of them. And, you know, I think another brand that's a German brand that does really, really great watches is, you know, somebody mentioned Union, but I think Mille is another great brand that in terms of their price to performance ratio and what you get, awesome brand.
We've got a $2 super chat from Vimal. Thank you so much, and we're glad that you're here. Great show, folks. When is the race for a Patek?
Get Marco for that one.
Yeah, no.
Channel sponsor.
Not on this show. We could get you a Pagani design Patek, but
we don't pull like that. I'm all sorry, dude.
Yeah.
We can get you one of those spec'd in Sons from Amazon.
There you go.
We have too many Zenith unboxings on here to give away a Patek.
Oh, come on.
Oh my goodness. You know what, Vimal? I don't know if he's given it away yet. Originally, it was going to be for 10,000 subscribers to both the Burdeen's channel and the Watch Hangout. But we're still pretty far away from 10,000. So I don't know if he just changed that to where he gave it away for just the Burdeen's or not. I have to ask him next time I talk to him because honestly, I don't know.
Blake, I am still in love with the white dial gold Chronomaster Sport.
That is a watch I was looking at last night. And I was like, if you're looking for a solid gold flexor landlord watch,
yeah,
you know, especially when those things come down to the 23, 24 mark. I mean, for all gold, 5-in gold with the bracelet, hard to beat.
I've seen them as low as 21 or 22.
I have too. Yeah.
Like, oh.
Something I was trying to wrap my mind around is they make two versions. They make one with like a sapphire bezel, or not sapphire, a ceramic bezel, and then they make one with a gold bezel.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't quite sure if they just released a ceramic bezel for the ones with the straps, and then you get the gold bezel with the gold bracelet. But I mean, you could get some of those gold cased with the ceramic bezels for like 9, like 12, you know, like 9, 10, 12, depending on what condition you want, you know, which I mean, for a gold cased watch, awesome.
Yeah. So we've got AB $5. Panel's thoughts on Tutima. They're literally across the street from Geo and Longa. That would be more of a Blake question because I bet he's at least hands-on with them. Maybe no.
I haven't. No.
I've owned one from 20-something years ago because my AD in California carried them, and it's a similar story to Damasco and these other companies that they lacked the marketing and distribution and PR to try to get any significant share of the market.
Yeah.
I will say in
Ooh.
my experience, any of the watch brands from Glashütte, they really take pride because Glashütte is just a whole watchmaking village. It's a really
Yeah.
small town. And if they're going to put Glashütte on the dial somewhere, like that means something to them. And they take pride in being from Glashütte. So, yeah, I their watches look great. I just have never had the opportunity to
Yeah.
experience one. And I don't even know what they sell for, but I'm sure that they're a really well-built product, and they probably are.
Speaking of well-built products,
Yes.
the birthday
Oh.
boy is in here, Mr. GMT. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, no, we got enough upvotes. We got enough upvotes.
Oh yeah, we don't have to sing. I forgot. GMT, happy birthday. We're so glad that you're here. The reissue of the Silverstone. I have not. Blake, would you mind looking that up real quick for me?
What is
Sure thing.
And while he's doing that, we want to thank Thomas Burnett, who is up way too freaking late or up way too freaking early for joining us. Love My Zenith A384 Revival and Tudor P01 Revival. Yeah. Two cool watches, man. And we're glad that you're with us so late and early. So let's put this on stage. Oh,
The Silverstone's nice.
I think that's the watch he's talking about.
Oh,
yeah. Is that GMT? Put in the chat. Is that the right one? That's cool.
And Glashütte has a model that's very similar to this.
it's the
as well.
70s TV model.
TV case, yeah.
Yeah, can you move it up and see if we can blow one of those pictures up a little bit? Just like click on it and see if it'll blow up. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Yes, he says that is the one.
I wonder how much it sells for.
I don't know. It was a reissue in, I think, didn't the website say 2010?
It said 2010.
Yeah. That's cool though, man. We've got Captain in here. Thank you for joining us, Captain. Hey, Mr. GMT. When are you doing a birthday show on your channel? I think, Captain, whenever you spin up a birthday show on his channel, that's when he'll do it. But yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. So last call for the race. 1 minute to go. I'm going to start getting it ready. So if you guys are ready to race, you guys tell me if somebody adds a super chat there, because I'm right now cannot see the StreamYard screen.
Let's get Mr. GMT in the race for his birthday.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We will do that.
The Silverstone looks like it's running between 5 and 6.5.
That's honestly not that bad. Yeah.
What movement did it have?
Hoyer, let's see. I just 1 second.
It looks like a caliber 11.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's
just
caliber 11. Yep.
Just by where the crown was, that's usually a caliber 11.
You got it, caliber 11.
Because my Monaco has a caliber 12, which has it on the right, not the left-hand crown, but on the right.
And it's not the same movement as the Hoyer Carrera.
This I stumbled upon while I was going through the Hoyer website, the Hoyer reissues. I don't know if this is something they reissue, but this is freaking cool.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of their, when they did the Porsche design stuff, this is one of those models.
Yeah, this is freaking amazing. Say Hoyer.
Hoyer Pasadena, $5,000.
Yeah, the Hoyer Pasadena is cool. The Pagani design Hoyer right here too.
That is the Porsche design.
Yeah,
Do you think
of
they-
course.
insult
Not,
them.
Do you
not
think they got?
Pagani design.
Do you, oh yeah, sorry. You think they got sued for this Daytona thing right here? I wonder why they don't make that anymore.
I
Hoyer
don't know.
Daytona.
That's playing with fire.
I don't know. I don't know how Rolex could even have a corner on that, because Daytona in itself is the racetrack. They would have more of a right to the name than Rolex would. So
Yep.
I think it's a public name. You can put it on there.
They might have been able to trademark it, which is a whole other.
And Vimal brings up a good point that Hoyer was probably at one point a sponsor of
Probably.
Yeah.
Daytona, because they were a
Yeah.
sponsor of pretty much every freaking race out there.
Yeah.
And now, of course, they're back at Formula One, and they're also at Indianapolis. So, you know, they're still heavily into racing sponsorship, and they've always have been. I mean, that's how Jack made his kind of mark on watchmaking, was making these
Yeah.
chronographs and either handing them out or selling them at a cheap extreme discount to race car drivers so they would wear them.
Yeah.
They've got such a cool catalog, like back catalog.
Yeah.
Like they need to do something with it.
Oh, they
Well,
are.
I think they are, slowly but surely. But let's let me get the race up here, and let's pick some folks that we want to add to this list. This is a list so far. Who would you like to add?
GMT for his birthday.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. There we go. And who else?
I seems like I always choose multiple at the end, so I'm gonna let somebody else choose.
John D. We could do John D. He's been chatting.
Very
about-
good.
What about, we already got. Okay, Jake. Just kidding. I was gonna say Mr. Robbers.
Nope, he's on there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, sorry.
All right, let's find one more out there. One more.
What about Trap?
Yep,
Yeah.
I was just about to write his name.
He's always coming in and showing some love.
All right, we are done. Let me make sure that no other super chats came in, and they did not. So I always like to check that. 44 seconds. Get rid of that stuff. Shuffle the characters. And away we go.
Ooh.
Everybody's even so far. Well, we've got GMT and Mr.
Duco.
Roberts dropping back a little bit. Duco out in the lead along with Mitch and Bubba.
I'm doomed.
No, you're
Tariq
not.
is
You're
in
fine.
there too.
Yeah. Tariq is in there. Thomas Burnett is fairly close. Liberty Spot's dropping back. So we've got Bubba, Thomas Burnett, P-Cars, John D. Here comes Vimal, quick on the outside. But somebody is going to come super fast and catch him. Up, looks like we're going to have Mr. Robbers as our winner. Look at that. Terrific. Congratulations, Mr. Robbers. You're our winner this evening. You'll get in the race for the monthly prize at some point whenever we have it. But we're still racing on Tuesday nights. So we got a big old long list, and we'll have that at some point in the future. But we want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Of course, thank our man Mitch with all of his watches that he showed tonight. Congratulations to Blake with the 2 unboxings to add to his collection. They're very cool, both of them. Brian the Pipe, thank you again. I appreciate it.
Mostly for not singing, right?
Yes. And then you got me singing, which is absolutely worse. And then, yeah, thank you, Brian, for agreeing with me. I knew a little help from my friends. Yes, I know.
No.
And of course,
what would you
Tiffany,
do if you sang out of tune? Oh.
Oh God, where's the mute button? And of course, we got Jen G, my personal watchmaker, and we want to thank you. You see, I can buy all the vintage I want because I just send them to Jen, and she says, "Stop it, stop it."
I know. I sit here and swear for a few hours and get them together.
Yep. We will talk to you guys next Tuesday night as usual.
Right.
And we should see you on Sunday. Everybody got a little bit busy on Father's Day, so we didn't have the Sunday show, but we should be back this Sunday. And I think we'll probably be here on Friday as well. So you guys have a good one. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week after we hear from the...
Come and get it! 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 You won't regret it in 2022 at Tip Top Snack Bar!